Howdy, y'all.
What's up, y'all? Here we are, Riff Room. Y'all know what it is because we just told you, the Riff Room.
Exactly.
So
we're here to riff today.
I mean, as always. So you got Anwar here with my guy Brian once again.
Peace to the people.
I mean, we might as well get to it. We got actually a nice little bit to talk through this week. So, you remember the last episode? I told y'all a little bit about the $4.5 trillion budget bill, right?
I remember that.
So let me give you a little more detail on what the Cretins and Congress are trying to do, and more importantly, how it affects us here in Nevada. So I told you guys that they were trying to take away from programs like Medicaid, food assistance, education, and I didn't mention last time, but they're also trying to take away VA benefits. VA benefits. These same people who say they love the troops and they love the flag and they love to use veterans as fodder when trying to marginalize people. Like, I don't know if y'all remember the memes a couple years ago. Don't let me go too far, Brian, but the memes a couple of years ago where people were posting, we owe veterans everything and illegals nothing. And
I don't remember them, but you know what? It makes sense that they shouldn't be,
Yeah, I remember them because I am a veteran and I'm tired of y'all.
Thank you for your service, brother.
You know what? I appreciate that, but you can thank me for my service by calling your congressman and telling them that this is not okay because they're headed back to D.C. Mm-hmm. So this past week, they were in district on recess. So they're headed back to D.C. this week, and you can call their D.C. offices. In fact, there'll be a QR code on here. All you got to do is scan that QR code and you'll be able to contact your representative. Again, as I mentioned last episode, make sure you contact your congressperson. You can hop on house.gov/representative/find-your-representative and you can locate your representative. Call your representative because if you call anyone that doesn't represent your district, they don't care. They don't care. You can't vote for them. So, talking a little more about Medicaid, what we don't realize, the wildfires, these plane crashes, natural disasters, when emergencies arise, Medicaid provides emergency services that save lives in these disasters. So, a proposed cut, in addition to eliminating a lot of that ability, it's looking to raise premiums for over 20 million people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, including 3 million small business owners, and it looks to take coverage away from about 4 million people. And why are they doing this? So that they can give some more money to people who don't need it.
But Trump's worried about the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of America. The Gulf of Mexico. My bad.
That water over there.
The Gulf or whatever.
And the cul-de-sac. The thing is, they want to do this, y'all. And again, the goal is to primarily benefit the wealthiest Americans. Again, taking things from people who need it the most to give more money to people who already don't need it. So listen, call your congressperson. Instead of calling them in district because they are back in D.C. this week, call their D.C. office. Call, say, I'd like to leave a message for, and whoever your rep is,
and then lay into that message.
And make it known that these things are not okay, that you care about protecting our veterans, that you care about taking care of the least of these among you, especially since that's biblical. And
okay.
Here in Nevada, they are trying to pass a film tax credit. Mm. And the reason they're trying to do that is because they are hoping to entice Sony and or Warner Brothers to come here and rob us of some more money, kind of like the Raiders, right? So they are...
Shade.
It is what it is. I'm just saying. And I will never forgive Darren Waller from the Raiders for fucking it up with Kelsey Plum. And now she's gone to L.A. Thanks a lot. And then he don't even play for the Raiders no more. Thanks for nothing. I said it.
I know you heard about it.
Very, very. But okay. I am excited about Jewel Lloyd coming to Vegas playing for the Aces. But we're going to talk about that in some coming weeks.
Oh.
We're going to talk about that in some coming
I don't know
weeks.
these people.
That's okay. The people watching, they should.
Hopefully
and,
you know about these people.
If they don't, they should, which is why I said they should. That stated, coming back to the film tax credit, they're trying to, again, entice these companies to come and set up shop so that they can ultimately rob us of more money. They claim it'll create jobs, but we've heard that story before. We've seen how this movie plays out.
More jobs,
And,
less money.
You know, it's shit jobs with shit wages, and
Just shitty all the way around.
next thing you know, they're like, oh shit, we got to save money, and then they lay people off. So who does it benefit in the long run?
So
Again,
it's kind of like
rich people.
It's kind of like a point where you try to like make a problem to fix a problem.
Very much so. That's exactly what it is.
But there's nothing really to fix, so you're just making more of a problem.
And that's all it is.
Got it.
So they claim, the big claim is that it will help diversify the state's economy. But the whole pitch sounds like some shit from Wu-Tang Financial. We also talked last episode, and we're going to talk a little more today about PJ,
Who's
a.k.a. Punk Ass Joe, a.k.a. the governor of Nevada.
Oh, Lord.
So, yeah, PJ.
You said that last time you ever spoke kindly about him was the last time you'd ever speak kindly about him.
I mean,
and every time since, it's been PJ, Punk Ass Joe.
Suck ass Jose, 2026, we gonna show his ass the dough.
Yeah.
Bars again. But no, we talked about him vetoing bills to create affordable housing just so he could performatively claim to care about building what we know will be unaffordable housing.
Right.
So to that end, Brian, what kind of things do we have in the works to combat that?
So right now, in Nevada, the Nevada Housing Justice Alliance, under the leadership and coordination of Ben Ennis, shout out to Ben, they're doing a lot of work. We're part of that coalition too, but there's a lot of work being done around habitability, rent stabilization, like AB 223 is being heard very, very soon. It's getting its own hearing. I believe next month in March, the 10th, I believe that's when that hearing is. If I'm mistaken, I'm pretty much sure.
March 10th?
March
Okay.
10th. There will be a hearing about habitability. But we just want to know that there's also some advocacy days coming up in April, coming out of the Nevada Housing Justice Alliance. Just a lot of work coming from them. Just great work. Just really just trying to make sure that the governor knows, legislators know that housing is a human right. Like, we all deserve housing here. It should be affordable. It should be, taken care of by those who claim to be landlords or, people that work to make sure that these homes are habitable for families and for years to come. Like, you don't want just a quicker fixer-upper. And then, 6 months down the line, your sink doesn't work, your dishwasher's broken, you have an infestation, and now you're calling your landlord, and they're like, you know what? Get them out of there, move somebody else in, and then up the rent on them, and it just keeps being a cycle over and over and over again. Also, we've just really been working on the summary evictions process here in Nevada. As we both know, the summary evictions process here is shit. I'm not even going to get into all that, but you see his face, right? It's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter.
I am an expert at navigating the summary eviction process. And
but it's
the
shit,
problem
right?
is I shouldn't have to be an expert at navigating the summary eviction process.
But you see, as I said, like...
So it's crap. Okay. Like, you shouldn't... The way that you have to play the game in order to stay housed, like, I got there at one point, and I won't go too long because I'm going to shut up and let you talk, because sometimes I do that, y'all.
No,
but like, it got to the point where I would count, because they give you a 7-day notice, and I would count how many days I had up until the last day before I could file a response in order to give myself enough time.
And wait, you said you have to file a response, right? But the landlord didn't even file in the first place.
No, they go and they get some forms and they slap them on your door.
And that's it.
And it says you got 7 days to pay rent or get out, and these are your options.
And you have to file.
And so you have to go and do it. It's all on the renter. And it it's a shit process, and it's time consuming. It's nerve wracking because if you are already on the verge of being put out because you're struggling to make ends meet, what fucking sense does it make for you to have to miss work to try and stay in a house where you can't make more money to pay your rent? Like it's
Then what about the kids?
It's like when the ball starts rolling, they want the ball to roll as quickly as possible to get you out and get someone else in. And literally what happens in most cases, and we'll move on at this, but or maybe we won't, but in most cases what happens is they get you out, they slap some paint on, they hike the rent up $50 and they bring in someone else.
And right, it's a human necessary right that everybody should have: housing, healthcare.
I'm gonna hit y'all with this real quick, just because we're here. The good book, Matthew 25. Jesus is talking to the disciples, and he's talking about who winds up in heaven and who doesn't. And in verse 36, he says, "Come, blessed is my Father, and inherit the kingdom." Blah 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 blah. He says, "When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was homeless, you took care of me. When I was sick, you came to see me." And so they say, "Well, when do we see you do these things?" He says, "Inasmuch as you have done these to the least of these among you, my brethren, you've done it to me." So why are you sitting in any building on a Sunday morning with a guy talking bad about the homeless and talking about people should work harder?
Preach.
You do know homeless people have jobs, right?
Preach.
And the ones who look the worst in your eyes that you say, "Oh, he should get a job," ask yourself if you'd hire him. Because chances are you wouldn't. And the reality is, we see these problems perpetuated because at the end of the day, a lot of you shit human beings need homeless people because you need somebody to look down on.
To make yourself feel better.
And that's fucked up. Now, if you want to prove me wrong, call your assembly person. Call your state senator. Tell them we need to do better here in Nevada too.
Starts at home.
As the weeks go on, in the coming weeks, future episodes, as we get closer to days of action and things like that, we'll be talking about it more, and you'll have another opportunity to do the right thing.
So you know what, brother? As we asking these folks to reflect, why don't we go ahead and reflect ourselves on a little bit of things that's been going on lately in the world?
You know what?
I love this. Reflection time.
We should reflect. So let's talk about some shit. Because this past week, we've seen another plane fall out of the sky.
Oh, Lord.
This time it wound up upside down.
Wait, pause. I seen that video, right? Why were the people telling the lady, "Put your phone away. Put your phone." I just survived a plane crash. This is a monumental moment in my life.
It's like...
I'm not putting my phone away right now. It's not happening.
12 years ago, I saw a movie called Flight with Denzel Washington.
Yes.
He was nominated for an Oscar. He also put a plane upside down. It also had a rough landing, a crash landing.
Was he drunk?
Yeah. But here's the thing. That was a goddamn movie, y'all.
The same movie.
It was a movie. When the movie came out, 4 years almost had gone by since we'd had a major accident. Like, what the fuck is happening? Thankfully, in this case, everyone was accounted for. But goddamn, y'all, we went 16 years without a major plane crash. And now, getting on a plane feels like a fucking Call of Duty mission.
More like Final Destination, if you will.
Ooh, shit.
You know they releasing a new movie soon? Sorry for y'all with the nose piercing.
I feel like they need to quit. Just because now I am old enough to have gone and seen the very first Final Destination in movie theaters.
Oh shit.
And yeah, and I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but like I swear they need a new hobby. Like, why are they still making these movies? Those, the Scream movies. And I'm talking shit, but I know I'm gonna watch both of them.
Okay.
I know I'm gonna watch both of them. But I'm talking shit, but I'm gonna watch them. Like, cause
sounds like you for real. It's a good movie, bro.
I mean, they're fun. They're fun. And I'm going to watch them again. But then, in addition to, you know, the one we just had, like, we've had 4 crashes, y'all, inside of a month.
That's a lot of
We
crashes,
went 16 years without a major plane crash, and we've had 4 crashes in a month. What the fuck is great about that?
Not America.
I mean, what in the first 48th of a fuck is happening, y'all? I mean, for real.
It's a cyber attack.
I mean...
Don't let me just... Oh, no. It might not be. Who knows?
Or a chicken attack. If you've never heard that song, then just... I'm not going to talk about that song today. Things in the mind of Anwar. But another thing that I've been witnessing, and I was like, some people are crashing out, some people are not. But
about what?
Because you have a lot of people we are seeing that are losing jobs. We're seeing a lot of people that are losing their benefits. And then you have these folks who are crashing out all over social media, tweeting at Trump, begging for their jobs because they voted for him. And they're like, oh, we're sure this was a mistake, Mr. President. Please give us our job back. And just fucking nuts. Brian, how do you feel about those folks?
The people that voted for him?
Yeah.
You fucked up. You know you fucked up, right? You know you did it to yourself, right? You did that. You. Because now look, I mean, I feel as if it's like almost, it's like you did yourself a disservice. You screwed yourself. And now you want to cry about it. And he's like, ha, it's too late, I'm already in office. He's going to freeze your taxes because he fired how many people from the IRS?
Wasn't it like I want to say 1,500, but I think that number.
He's gonna your taxes. That he's let people go from the IRS. He's let people go from the CDC. He's let people go from the FDA. He's been subsidizing government agencies, the FDA, I believe, too. Just so many different. So it's just overall, I feel as if. I'm going to just let you go ahead and jump back in.
And then the biggest thing is a lot of these people that are affected by these layoffs across the board, again, veterans, DEI. You didn't know veterans were DEI, did you? You just thought that DEI meant my black ass. Oh, how wrong you are. Ain't that a bitch? And that's the reason I'm upset. See, I can empathize with a lot of people losing their jobs. I can empathize with a lot of the people that are losing benefits, but the people that voted for this, I have no empathy or sympathy toward, with, or for you.
So look, brother, pause. I just looked up. Thousands of federal government employees have been shown the door in the first month of President Donald Trump's administration. It is affecting more than just the national capital region, home to about 20% of the 2.4 million members of civilian federal workforce, which does not include military personnel and postal workers. More than 80% of that workforce lives outside the Washington area. So it's not even the people in Washington. These are the people, the regular people that have voted for him are affected in mass numbers.
But here's the thing. Watching you fuckers crash out, watching y'all get on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and cry. And I'm going to say this, and I say this with my full chest. And my chest ain't that big because I'm not a big guy, but I'm going to say it with all of the chest I got. Fuck you. And I say that because you were okay with people losing their jobs. You were okay with people losing their benefits. You were okay with people's families being split up when you didn't think it was going to affect you.
And now?
Tuesday night, November 5th, you couldn't wait to hop on Instagram and post your picture with that red wave. Wednesday morning, November 6th, you couldn't wait to talk about, ooh, this is huge. And post that lemon meringue head motherfucker. You couldn't wait to do that shit.
Lemon meringue.
And now all this stuff is happening and you're like, oh, why? And then you asking people like me, how come I don't stand up and have your back, and how come I can't help you?
Why?
Because when I told you not to vote for the motherfucker, you laughed.
They did.
When we told you what he was gonna do, you said he won't do that.
And then he did.
And you knew he would. What you really meant was he won't do that to me. And not only did he do it, he did it to you.
Me.
So deal with it. Get your ass in line. Get your Britney Spears on. Hit me, baby, one more time, because he's going to hit your ass again.
No, it's more like, leave Britney alone.
So, I mean...
or like, leave our people alone. He's a
nah. I sit here and I tell you to call your Congress people, and I want you to call them.
Will you?
Really do.
Will you?
But the reality is...
Will they, brother?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
I hope so, because I really want you to. But the reality is a lot of you people, you chose this. You voted for this. And this is not me gloating. This is not me being happy. Because I get to suffer with you.
Sadly.
But you're not going to catch me begging and pleading with people to do the right thing. Because I asked you to do the right thing. If you wouldn't do the right thing, why should we expect the people you voted for to do the right thing? That stated, before I crash out too much harder, let's land this plane. No pun intended.
All pun intended, brother, because Jesus.
I'm
skeptical to get on a plane. Damn. Keep talking about these crashes.
Look.
If I die in a plane crash, brother, just know it was y'all fault. It was their fault.
If I die in a plane crash.
It was their fault.
I didn't have a funeral planned anyway, so...
I don't even have one either.
Whatever they think is me, just put it in a jar and send it somewhere, It's cool. That stated, we'll talk about end of life arrangements some other time or never. But I know last week, again, I told you all, I asked you last episode to contact your congressman. I asked you to contact them in their district where you live. This time, they're back in D.C., so contact them. Call their office. Again, there's going to be a QR code. There'll also be a link in the description for this video for you to access it, but I'm going to say it out loud as well. house.gov/representatives/find-your-representative. That is your Y-O-U-R.
You know they have a hard time with
just because.
See, I knew it.
So that, but so do that. Do that. The Senate, they've actually passed a portion of their reconciliation bill. So the House is racing to catch up. So we need you calling them and telling them that it's not okay to take any more money from veterans. It's not okay to take any more money from seniors. It's not okay to take any more money from the people who need it the most. So you can give more money to people who don't need it at all.
I'm so tired of seeing all that stuff in the sky, bro. Didn't you see that on Instagram? It was like that giant, it's like a fluttery white giant jellyfish. SpaceX.
You know what? I think I saw a video of it. I wasn't outside to see it though.
If you don't know what we're talking about, I think I'm gonna put a clip of it right here somewhere.
So
I
yeah,
find that video.
Might be able to get to check that out. So
find that.
But then also here in Nevada, so same numbers, same people as last episode for them when it comes to the state. Call your assembly person, call your state senator, tell them we're not okay with desecrating public lands for what we know won't be affordable housing, but also tell them we are not okay with a film tax credit that brings businesses here to, again, take more money from us and give us nothing in return but potentially shitty movies. I mean...
We need to study the decline of CGI from like 2009 to 2025. Because do you remember in Transformers when that one robot came down the tube and it was like a bunch of mini robots and it came together and then sliced up all the guards? Now the CGI is crap. I know I probably just went on a tangent, but that's just me. Just like I just feel as if
But here's the thing:
CGI now is horrible.
And it's another reason.
Bad.
And it's another reason they don't need none of our money. I'm just saying.
The Michael Bay Transformers movies, the first 3, compared to the ones with Mark Wahlberg, night and day. Just my opinion, though.
Now I'm an old head, so the original animated Transformers movie will always be the best one. I'm just saying, There's nothing like.
I don't think I've seen it.
You should. It is a classic. And I mean, anything that has Dare to Be Stupid by Weird Al Yankovic in it can't be all bad. So,
who?
Yeah. It's
My bad.
He's
My bad.
End of the 90s babies, y'all.
My bad.
But anyhow, one more time, I promised y'all we would keep it under 20 minutes. I told y'all 20 minutes or less. So call your congressperson, they're back in district. Call your state representatives, assembly people, and your state senators. For your congressperson, do not pass this bill taking away benefits. Don't do it. The rich don't need no more money. Most of the people that have the benefits can't afford to lose no more money. Call your state representatives and tell them, hell no on these film tax credits. Hell no on these film tax credits. Let Warner Brothers and Sony go do that shit somewhere else because they've already failed in other places. We ain't a charm. People come here and lose money gambling all the time.
That sucks. Why lose more money?
We ain't finna let Warner Brothers and Sony come here and lose our money gambling. So, that's stated. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for rocking with us
this week. Like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate that.
And we'll see you next time.
Catch you next week.